the sambar, yogurt, and lime pickle. The mother from the opposite berth had offered Tara a ripe, black-spotted plantain after their meal. Auntie from the opposite berth looked kindly, but Tara had declined, with an uncertain shake of her head, because she had received no cues whatsoever from Amma, no nod or subtle nudge on her elbow to indicate that she should accept the plantain. Amma was busy staring at the palms of her interlocked hands that guarded her belly, as if there were so much to decipher in them. And Daddy had already reclaimed his spot on the top berth. Soon his snores had wafted down, rhythmic over other human sounds and the steady clanging of the moving train. Tara had slept well and dreamed long dreams of lovely Pinky. She remembered only snatches of her dream, but every shard of what came back to her was imprinted with pink skin, luminous golden hair, and violet blue eyes that closed and opened and closed and opened. Pinky was like a real person, not a doll. She even wore a real blue and white striped frock, and her soft feet were encased in white rubber shoes. If only Amma had thought of giving her the doll before her best friends, Pippi, Linika, and Runa had left for the summer. What a smashing hit Pinky would have been! She could imagine the wonders that came with owning the prettiest doll in their neighborhood, the clamor of her friends to play with Pinky at her house. She had never had that standing before. The day Amma gifted Pinky to her, Tara had spent all afternoon in the square shoe room next to the veranda, the only calm spot in a chaotic house. Seated among empty shoe racks, she had brushed Pinky's golden hair, fed her make-believe tea and biscuits, run her forefinger over her long, curled-up lashes, stood her up and laid her down again and again to make her open and shut her beautiful eyes. The packers had come in. 12 sturdy wooden boxes were being filled with household items. Daddy and Emma were busy packing the 2 metal trunks, a green canvas hold-all, and the large, brown, leather-trimmed suitcase they would be traveling with. Tempers were frayed, and Tara knew better than to be in her parents' way. In the evening, Daddy had peeped into the shoe room, a frown on his sweaty brow. "You can play with it at your grandparents' house in Mangalore," he had pointed toward Pinky. "It needs to go in the trunk now." She knew better than to displease Daddy when he was tired and irritable. She had handed Pinky over to him, and then followed him to the bedroom and watched as he laid her down in one of the 2 identical trunks, over Emma's peacock blue-green-yellow sari, the one with the whirlwind-like swirls. One afternoon in a shoe room. Brief enough to seem like a dream. Almost. But Pinky was real, even if she was not of flesh and blood. She felt more real than their long train journey. Tara turned toward Amma, tapping her arm. "Amma, how much longer?" "Soon." Amma had turned monosyllabic as soon as they had left home. "Soon," repeated Tara. Then in a whisper, "Don't worry. We'll get you out of the trunk soon, okay?" Pinky didn't get out of the trunk soon. The day they arrived at Shanti Nilaya, Amma only opened their brown leather-trimmed suitcase to draw out essentials, home clothes and toiletries. The next morning, Amma had just unlocked the trunks when Grandfather Madhava, Daddy's father, called out rather loudly his older son's name. The urgency in his gravelly voice made Amma stop her job at hand and follow Daddy downstairs to the veranda. Tara had no choice but to do as Amma did. The Prime Minister had declared internal emergency in the country, Grandfather Madhava said. The Philips radio that sat on the blue linen-clad round table in the veranda was crackling, and over the shortwaves, a childlike voice filled the room. It drew Grandmother Indira and Daddy's younger brother, Uncle Anand, out to the veranda as well. They huddled around the radio as the Prime Minister used big words in her speech. "Widespread conspiracy, inciting our armed forces to..."